Now we'll continue. Enter Ariel. Ariel is the spirit of the air. He is helping Prospero now. Ariel, all hail great masters, grave sir. Hail, I come. That is his greeting. Ariel is greeting Prospero. He is showing respect to Prospero because Prospero is his master. To answer thy best pleasure. To answer any commands, any orders, any work which you have for me to do, I am ready to do it. Pleasure means very happy to do it. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. These are the things which Ariel can do because he has magical powers. He can fly with the wind, he can swim in the ocean, he can also walk in the bottom of the ocean, he can go through fire, and also he can ride on the wind. On the curled clouds, he can also move about on the clouds. To thy strong bidding. Strong bidding means any powerful commands which Prospero wants him to do, he will be ready to do it. To thy strong bidding, thy is yours, that is Prospero. Strong bidding task, powerful orders. Bidding task, powerful orders. Ariel and all his quality. Ariel and all his companions are ready to obey all the orders of Prospero. Hast thou, spirit, performed 2 point? 2 point means exactly. Have you done exactly what I asked you to do? The tempest, that is the storm. The title is the tempest. So we began the play with a storm in the sea. And now we know that this storm was caused by Prospero. Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee? Bade means ordered you, asked you to do, to every article. I have done my work exactly as you told me to do. Even in the smallest detail, I was able to do what you told me so. I boarded the king's ship. I got on to the ship of the king of Naples. Now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck. Now Ariel appears as a flame of fire. He turns himself into a flame of fire, and he can divide himself into many flames and appear in many places at the same time, like a flame of fire. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist. At one time, Ariel was on the front of the ship. After some time, he came to the middle of the ship. And he can be in the front and the middle of the ship as well as in different places as at the same time, like a flame of fire. Now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. In each and every room in the ship, Ariel appeared like a flame of fire. And the passengers were amazed. They were surprised. The people on the ship were very surprised. Not only surprised, they were startled, they were frightened to see this flame of fire. And I burn in many places. He appeared like a flame in many places of the ship, many parts of the ship. On the topmast, the yard, the bowsprit would I flame distinctly, very clearly, like a flame of fire. Ariel appeared in different parts of the ship. Then all these different flames of fire would join together. Jow's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps. Lightning appears in the sky before thunder. Lightning is followed by thunder. And here, Jove is the supreme god in Roman mythology, the head in Roman mythology. Jove is also known by the name of Jupiter. And his chief weapons are lightning and thunder. And Ariel was able to perform the weapons of Jove. He was able to make thunder and lightning appear in the sky with the help of his magic. Jove's lightning, the precursors, means the messengers. That is, before thunder, lightning appears. So, lightning is like a messenger of thunder. Lightning heralds thunder. Those lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight running were not. Lightning appears like a flash. It is there only for a moment, but it is able to inspire fear, amazement. It startles people who see this. So just like that, Ariel appears like a flame and causes fear in those who see him, that is the passengers on the ship. And sight outrunning were not. Sight outrunning means able to frighten or startle the fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune. Neptune is god of the sea, and Neptune's chief weapon is the trident, that is a three-pronged fork. A fork has different prongs, but here Neptune's weapon, the trident, has three prongs. And Ariel was able to cause violent waves in the sea, the storm in the sea, the tempest in the sea, just like Neptune, who causes waves and stormy weather in the sea. The waves sometimes rise very high. Of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune, that is the violent waves of the sea are usually caused by Neptune, but now it is caused by Ariel. Of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to beseech. The waves of the sea attack the ship here and make his bold waves tremble. Yet his dread tyrant shake. The movement of the waves in the ocean is referred to as trembling, shaking. My brave spirit. Prospero appreciates the work that Ariel has done, and he praises him. My brave spirit, who so firm, so constant, that this coil, Ariel was so steady, so brave, that this coil, the commotion in the ship, and also appearing like flames of fire, would not infect his reason. The other people in the ship became almost mad with fear, but Ariel was not affected. He always remained calm and reasonable. Would not infect his reason. Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad. All the other people in the ship were almost mad with fear. But Ariel was steady. He was constant. He did not lose his power of reason. Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad. All the people in the ship were frightened, and they almost became mad with fear and played some tricks of desperation. They are also desperate, struggling to save themselves. They are afraid of their lives, and they are desperate to save themselves. All but mariners plunged into the foaming brine. Everyone jumped into the ocean except the mariners. That is the sailors. Foaming brine is the water of the ocean. And quit the vessel. Quit means left. Foaming because the waves are violent and there is a storm. And quit the vessel means left the ship. Then all afire with me. Ariel appeared as a flame of fire, and Ferdinand was the first one to jump into the water. And then all afire with me, the king's son Ferdinand, with all afire. Then all afire, the king's son Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds not hair. The king's son saw this flame of fire. He was so frightened, he jumped into the ocean, he jumped into the water, and Ariel led him to the island. The fear of Ferdinand is seen here. All the hair on his head was standing upright, standing erect, standing straight, just like reeds. Reeds are water plants. With hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair. So his hair looked like reeds because they were standing erect. Was the first man that leaped and cried. He was the first one to jump into the water, and he cried out, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here. All the devils from hell have come here to frighten us." Why, that's my brave spirit. You have done your work very well. But was not this nigh shore? Did not this happen near the shore? Prospero is worried about the safety. He wants everyone to be safe. He does not want to punish them. He only wants them to repent and reconcile with them. But was not this nigh means near the shore. Close by, my master, it happened near the shore. But are they Ariel safe? Again Prospero is concerned and he asked him, are all the people safe? People in the ship which was drowning. Not a hair perished. They are safe and not a single hair on their head was lost. On their sustaining garments, sustaining the dress which they were wearing, not a blemish, not a stain, not a spot. It was not damaged even little bit. The clothes which they wear appeared fresher than before, but fresher than before. Their clothes were much fresh, in fact fresher than when first they wore it. And as thou badest me, as you had ordered me, as you told me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. In troops means in different groups he has scattered all the people on the ship. In different parts of the island, in groups, he has scattered them. The king's son have I landed by himself. The king's son is alone, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs. He is sighing. Sigh is a sound when you make when you are sad, unhappy. And Ferdinand's sighs seem to make the air cool. In this odd angle of the island, in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting his arms in this hole, in a corner of the island. Odd angle means corner of the island. And he is sitting in this sad knot means Ariel is showing to Prospero that Ferdinand is sitting in a corner of the island with his arms folded. His arms in this sad knot means his arms folded like this. Maybe Ariel is showing it to Prospero. Of the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet. What has happened to the sailors in the ship? What has happened to the other people in the ship? Safely in the harbour is the king's ship, in a deep nook, where once thou callest me at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermuthus. Bermuthus is islands in Bermuda. And these islands are still vexed means they are always stormy. There is always a storm there. The waters are dispersed. And earlier, Prospero had asked Ariel to fetch dew from the Bermudas. There she is hid. So in a corner of the harbour, that is in Bermudas, the ship of the king is hidden and all the sailors are in rooms in the ship below, that is below the deck of the ship. They are in their rooms, they are sleeping. The mariners all under hatches stored. Stored means kept safely. Hatches is rooms below the deck of the ship. I have left asleep. The sailors are sleeping. They are sleeping because of the charm, because of Ariel's magic, and to their suffered labor also because of the hard work which they do. Two things have made the sailors sleep. One is the hard work which they did in trying to save the ship, and the other